love truth, but pardon error. The most important decision you make is to be in a good mood. The comfort of the rich depends upon an abundant supply of the poor. If God did not exist, it would be necessary to invent him. We are rarely proud when we are alone. To succeed in the world, it is not enough to be stupid, one must also be polite. Injustice in the end produces independence. Dare to think for yourself. The longer we dwell on our misfortunes, the greater is their power to harm us. Men will always be mad, and those who think they can cure them are the maddest of all. The more often a stupidity is repeated, the more it gets the appearance of wisdom. The secret of being a bore is to tell everything. God is a comedian playing to an audience that is too afraid to laugh. No opinion is worth burning your neighbor for. We never live, we are always in the expectation of living. Faith consists in believing what reason cannot. Behind every successful man stands a surprised mother-in-law. Our labor preserves us from three great evils: weariness, vice, and want. Men are equal, it is not birth but virtue that makes the difference. I would rather obey a fine lion, much stronger than myself, than 200 rats of my own. The mirror is a worthless invention. The only way to truly see yourself is in the reflection of someone else's eyes. One day everything will be well, that is our hope. Everything's fine today, that is our illusion. Man is free at the instant he wants to be. Prejudices are what fools use for reason. It is not enough to conquer, one must learn to seduce. Cherish those who seek the truth, but beware of those who find it. God is a circle whose center is everywhere and circumference nowhere. It is better to risk saving a guilty person than to condemn an innocent one. Appreciation is a wonderful thing. It makes what is excellent in others belong to us as well. If this is the best of possible worlds, what then are the others? The infinitely small have a pride infinitely great. The pursuit of pleasure must be the goal of every rational person. One merit of poetry few persons will deny: it says more and in fewer words than prose. If you want good laws, burn those you have and make new ones. He must be very ignorant, for he answers every question he is asked. May God defend me from my friends, I can defend myself from my enemies. A state can be no better than the citizens of which it is composed. Our labor now is not to mold states but make citizens. To hold a pen is to be at war. Of all religions, the Christian should of course inspire the most tolerance, but until now Christians have been the most intolerant of all men. I should like to lie at your feet and die in your arms. Such then is the human condition, that to wish greatness for one's country is to wish harm to one's neighbors. One great use of words is to hide our thoughts. Madness is to think of too many things in succession too fast, or of one thing too exclusively. It is not inequality which is the real misfortune, it is dependence. All the reasonings of men are not worth one sentiment of women. All is for the best in the best of possible worlds. My soul is the mirror of the universe, and my body is its frame. The interest I have to believe a thing is no proof that such a thing exists. Uncertainty is an uncomfortable position. But certainty is an absurd one. A man loved by a beautiful woman will always get out of trouble. I have lived 80 years of life and know nothing for it, but to be resigned and tell myself that flies are born to be eaten by spiders and man to be devoured by sorrow. It is as impossible to translate poetry as it is to translate music. I am the best-natured creature in the world, and yet I have already killed 3, and of these 3 2 were priests. I cannot imagine how the clockwork of the universe can exist without a clockmaker. The discovery of what is true and the practice of that which is good are the 2 most important aims of philosophy. Men argue. Nature acts. Reading nurtures the soul, and an enlightened friend brings it solace. All men are born with a nose and 10 fingers, but no one was born with the knowledge of God. Said that God is always on the side of the big battalions. When it is a question of money, everybody is of the same religion. Opinions have caused more ills than the plague or earthquakes on this little globe of ours. If we do not find anything very pleasant, at least we shall find something new. The mouth obeys poorly when the heart murmurs. Tears are the silent language of grief. Theology is to religion what poisons are to food. Being unable to make people more reasonable, I preferred to be happy away from them. There is a wide difference between speaking to deceive, and being silent to be impenetrable. If there's life on other planets, then the Earth is the universe's insane asylum. No problem can stand the assault of sustained thinking. Fools admire everything in an author of reputation. I cannot imagine how the clockwork of the universe can exist without a clockmaker.